Hey, everybody, God bless you, and may God continue to bless you. When the Bible talks about the message of that makes your ear itch, it kind of tickles your ear, that good, feel good message, what does that mean? Because everyone has a different view, a different take on it. Some say it's a message that just tells you, just be happy, live your life daily, empower yourself, know who you are. They think it's a self, kind of like a affirmation type of message. When you're told maybe things like, you're a child of God, or you're not a child of God. What is that message that makes people say, I love this message? In my view, honestly, I think it's the message of me. I am the one who is partaker in this. I am the one who made this happen. I think the message that feeds our ego is the one that makes our ears, wow, I like that message. Yeah, I can do that. Oh yeah, salvation is in my hands. And by that I mean the majority of the church system teaches that. They have a message that puts salvation in your hands. See, the other message that the church system points to and says, you see, that message is horrible. It deceives people. It's grace. It's the message of grace. Why? Because the message of grace says, you don't have to do nothing. It's already been done for you. You just need to live in it. You just need to accept it and truly just live in it. It's there for you. Whether you accept it or not, really, it's done for you. Christ lived his life on your behalf. When God sees you, he sees Christ. See, but the church system says that's a message that makes, man, I like that message. It makes me feel good. I truly believe the message of grace, the message of God's love, is much more difficult to understand and to live it. The reason I say that is because it requires you to do nothing. So when you're required to do nothing, that's difficult. We're so used to performing. We like performance-based religion. It makes us feel good because it gives us part in this communion with God. This is why people say, in order for me to get right with God, I need to pray more, I need to read more, I need to witness, I need to go to church, I need to praise, I need to sing, I need to worship, fall on the floor. And this is the reason why you can have a conference about anything and people go. A new speaker comes, you like hearing it because it says, you need to do this, you need to do that. That's why when they have an altar call or rededication of your life to Christ, people go because they like that. Oh, I'm going to do my part to give into that. Now, the message of grace says, there's no need to rededicate your life. Your life is Christ's. And that's so difficult to understand. That's so difficult to believe. It's easy to understand because we say it all the time, I'm saved by grace. But the minute you start turning your back on God, or what you think is turning your back, right away, you're like, I need to repent, I need to come back to God. And you do your part. So you say, I'm right with God because I have done this. It's about me. That's the message that makes your ears itch. It is that religious, institutional message, not the message of grace. We're so used to saying, I'm a sinner saved by grace. Bah humbug, I ain't no sinner saved by grace. I'm a saint walking in grace. Sinner saved by grace. That's the message that makes your ear itch because you're like, it's more like I'm a sinner saved by my works. Because if I ask you, why are you saved? You're going to say, it's about Christ. Yeah, of course you're going to say that. But then I point to your neighbor who doesn't go to church, doesn't read the Bible. So why is he not saved? Well, he hasn't come to Christ yet. Well, so is it coming to Christ that made you saved? Is it your part? Did God do everything to a certain point and then you were the wise one and said, God, come to my life, and now you're saved? So that's the message that makes the ear itch. The message that says, I need to do my part. I want to partake in this salvation of mine. Let me tell you something. How many times you go to a store and you can barely choose what kind of shoes you want to buy? You're looking between the red ones or the blue ones, and you have to have someone, hey, what do you think about this? You might even ask the guy who works there, hey, which ones are nicer? Because you can't even decide that. And you think for one moment God is going to put the decision of your salvation, of eternal destiny in your hands? A mere man? Oh, please. Please, if you believe that, forget about that. You can't decide what shoes to wear, what color tie to go with those pants. You can't decide the menial, carnal things. How are you going to decide the spiritual matters? The weightier matters. That's done by God. It's been done by Christ. And that's the message nobody likes. Because why? You want to have part of that. You want to have part in your salvation. That's the message that this church teaches. The institutional church. And this is why people keep flocking to them, because they're changing their programs to appease the masses. They're changing their program to make people come. They'll do anything. We no longer have a standard in the church system. We bow down to every little thing that comes our way and says, oh, we'll do that too. Yeah, we'll do that too. Well, yeah, just as long as you come in through those doors. But grace says, hey, you don't have to do all that. It's been done for you. That right there is difficult. It doesn't easily sit with you because you want to have something to do in your part. In one of my videos, I talked about an infant being born. If you're a parent, when that baby was born, did you love that baby? Any parent with the right logical mind will say yes. And then I'll ask, why did you love that baby? Because that baby did nothing to deserve your love. See, we say that God will never turn his back on us. And yet the minute you go and you commit some kind of sin, you think, oh, God is far from me. Come on. See? And so then you have to do something. I did this. I prayed more. I fasted. I wept. I repented. I went to church. I have a ministry. I witnessed to the poor. I raised the dead. You do all these things because you have something to do with that part. You have something to do with your return. You know, you caused an action and now God reacted. Nah, I'm sorry. God doesn't react to your actions. It's already been done through Christ, and that's the message that nobody wants to hear. Because you know why? Because it makes you lose your power in your ego. Grace is you being able to sit on God's lap and just say, I'm okay right here. I don't have to do all these religious obligations. If you do them, great, but do them because you want to, not because you feel you have to. Brother, may God bless you, and may God continue to bless you. And don't ever forget that what Jesus Christ did is enough, and there's no need to add to that.